Well, good Wednesday morning to you. It is hump day, and today, Clyde, the word for the day is hot.
Yeah, yeah, boy, is it ever. Later on, we'll tell you about the temperature, and it's going to feel pretty hot out there today. Tough weather for everybody. But Mona, you used to work at the zoo, right?
I did. I worked there for a couple of years. I absolutely did.
Yeah, so you've been watching how they keep the elephants cool.
You know what? I love that, and I enjoyed my time working at the zoo. But this is so great when it's been hot for the last few days, but the firefighters have helped out to help keep our elephants cool. And, you know, I love this story. I love it. Because African elephants use their larger ears to help remove heat. But the Asian elephants, apparently they store heat in their trunks, and their ears are smaller, so they need cooling off just like we do, Clyde.
Yeah, those are I believe Asian elephants there. And you know what, Mona, that looks to me kind of like what happens when you scratch a dog's belly or scratch behind his ears, or when you just kind of run your hand across a cat's back. They were just like, oh, this is wonderful.
It is, you know, and they're kind of shaking when you do it, right? They just love it, right? And I bet the elephants enjoyed that. Clyde, how do you keep cool?
Stay indoors with the AC on. But actually, yes, that's how I keep cool. That and stuff like water or some soft drinks occasionally, and a little scoop of ice cream here and there every now and then. You?
That's right. Yeah, I'm like you. For the most part, I am indoors with the AC, but I like looking out the window and stepping onto the balcony and then jumping back in to keep cool. Right. A little bit of heat, a little bit of cool.
Yep, absolutely. We were just showing you one way that some members of our community are supporting other members of our community. So we're going to continue on that theme a little bit this morning. You know, the pandemic has created needs that go deep into our community, but the United Way, well, they are continuing to offer support on all levels and to people from all walks of life. Here's one way the United Way has expanded its support during these difficult times.
Well, poverty has been in our community forever, and I think that's what COVID-19 really exposed again for us, the total inequity of certain populations.
I was so much out of the world when I was homeless. I mean, I was just me, you know, but I never looked homeless.
I met Jay 2018, December the 14th to be exact, and he was down at the Joseph House, and he was one of the few guys that sat in on the seminar we were doing talking about employment and what we have to offer.
God even says, man, don't work, don't eat. And I believe the same way.
I would say probably the most major challenge has been finances, you know, because so many ways that me and for my family that they've been able to earn money and things like that have really slowed down.
Imagine a family trying to manage, you know, housing, food, transportation, childcare. So we already knew that we had a persistent, really difficult challenge in this community.
Many of the people that are living in poverty, that are the focus of United Way programs and supports, are now facing food crises, they're facing housing crises, and that's on top of the unemployment that everybody is talking about and thinking about.
So if the doors are shut at the places that are supposed to help me, what does it tell me about me? What value, what purpose, what meaning do I have?
God ain't gonna give me no more than I can handle. It might be tough, but it's gonna make me stronger in the long run.
Sometimes we forget about all the downstream effects.
If there's something that you can do, given where you sit today, please do it, because that united hand is critical to ensuring that our community bounce back.
It's important that doors stay open.
Well, if you've been driving around Mason recently, then you've probably seen a field of beautiful sunflowers. But they aren't part of the Cattell Park, which is across the street. So, who plants these beautiful blooms? Well, this is what we found out.
If you're driving by, you may miss it. A giant field of sunflowers just a few steps across the street from Cattell Park in Mason. Though the field is not part of the park, people still flock to it for wedding pictures, family portraits, even first day of school snapshots. The Natorp family, who leases the lot, says the sunflower plantings first started about 10 to 12 years ago when their nursery manager planted buckwheat to help rejuvenate the soil and decided to throw a planting of sunflowers in the mix as well. The results were gorgeous, so the family has carried on the tradition. Natorps tells us they start planting in early May when the soil is warm and ready for seeds. They actually plant half the sunflowers, wait 3 weeks, then plant the other half. This way, it ensures the sunflowers are in bloom for a longer period of time, giving passers-by, or photographers for that matter, more time to enjoy their beauty. A fun fact about sunflowers, before they turn yellow, Natorp says the developing flowers follow the sun back and forth from east to west as the sun rises and sets. But once they get their yellow color, they ultimately end up locking into position facing east. Who knew? So, if you want to admire these beautiful flowers, they'll be in bloom for a few weeks more. A few words of advice, though. Be respectful and be cautious if you do take the risk and cross the busy road between Cattell Park and that sunflower field.
Safety, comfort, and support are at the core of everything the people at Artis Senior Living do. With World Alzheimer's Day coming up, this local memory care facility is taking some time to teach people more about this disease. And right now, I want to welcome Mary Underwood, the Vice President of Memory Care Services at Artis Senior Living. Mary, thank you so much for joining us on this really important topic.
Always nice to be here with you.
You know, one of the things you pride yourself on is caregiver support. So talk to us about how you care for caregivers.
Yeah, it's very important all the time, but right now with everything going on and resources somewhat being limited and people having access to one another, we find it even more important now to be a resource for caregivers out there. So we still do offer a support group the third Wednesday of every month, and it is via Zoom, so people are open to attend that. We also do educational series, with our next one being on September 17th, and it's about the healthy brain. But even if it's not a structured program or a support group, we are always available to receive calls, to give information. Even if you're not looking at Artis, we do have professionals in each community who can share their wisdom and resources and support our caregivers in the community, because it is such a difficult job.
It really is. It was a difficult, I speak from experience on that one. So I understand you have a great, I understand you have a great relationship with Johns Hopkins. So talk about that.
We do. We have partnered with Johns Hopkins. And the reason is, with so much going on with the pandemic, we really needed to figure out, how do we keep all our residents safe? That is our number one priority, but at the same, we wanted to make sure that they were living a quality of life and enjoying and having moments. So we did partner with Dr. Katz, who is an infectious disease doctor, and also Dr. Bellantoni, who is a doctor of gerontology. And they have really been guiding us in regards to our protocols, our procedures, helping us figure out what is the best way to serve and take care of our residents and our associates during this incredibly unique time that we're in.
It really is a unique time. And talk about why that safety is so important to you.
It's important because, number one, is we are caring for the most vulnerable population with this disease. So we want to make sure they're safe, and we want to make sure that their quality of life is maintained and enhanced even during the disease that they have in this pandemic. But they are such a vulnerable population that we have a responsibility to really make sure they are cared for.
All right, Mary. So if people want to attend one of your events or get more information about Artis Senior Living, how can they connect with you?
Simple phone call to 513-409-0208. And we have sales teams and nurses and anybody who's willing to help with answering questions and getting you into any of the events that we're hosting.
All right. Sounds good. Mary, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mona, thanks. Coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, then from the runway to the ballroom, Tyra Banks is joining us today. We'll talk about the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars. We'll get her input on who she thinks just might make it to the final 3. Plus, we'll take you behind the counter at a pet groomer who treats your dog rather, like family. Because had I done that the other way, that would have been a problem. Anyway, we'll tell you more about Woof Pet Spa, and it has everyone wagging their tail. All that, whole lot more, in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Well, it's that time of year again, time to see some of your favorite athletes, actors, and reality TV stars competing for the coveted Mirror Ball Trophy. Yep, we're talking about the hit show Dancing with the Stars. And it gives us great pleasure to introduce to you, the one and only Tyra Banks, who is the new host for this season. Tyra, thanks so much for joining us, and let's dive right in. So you're the solo host of the show this season. What did you think when they offered you the job?
It was many months ago. I remember kind of noodling over it for a while, and then I called my mom. My mom was like, "Of course you gotta host that show." My mom was the first person to ever tell me about Dancing with the Stars. I remember years ago she was like, "Tyra, the stars are dancing, turn on the TV." So I got her approval.
Well, that's good. That's good. So we're excited because one of the things we hear is that you say this season is going to go to the next level. So what did you mean by that, and how do you make that happen as host?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of pressure as host. I was kind of trash talking in the beginning, and now I'm like, woo, I have to now show for it. There's some things that, I think it's important that, like, when you come into something new, because I'm executive producing as well, that you don't come in with a sledgehammer. You listen, you understand, you see the research, you see what's working, what America loves. You kind of see the research of what, like, they kind of really don't care about and they're okay to change. And so, like, I kind of looked at that and suggested a couple of things that we're going to be doing. One involves incorporation of some popular dancing that the kids are doing on the street, because I want to make sure that I can bring the younger audience with the older audience so they can sit on that couch together and watch the show, or now in quarantine, watch together, but like text and tweet, with each other.
That's pretty strategic. So talk a little bit about the celebrity dancers you've seen, and if you've seen any emerge as folks who've really got potential to make it to the top 3.
You know what? I haven't really seen them dance yet, but I've had phone conversations with many. And some of them are like, "Oh, yes, I've been dancing ballet and tap and jazz since I was 5. And I'm like, "Does everybody know that?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Ooh, you got a little secret going on. You're going to, like, slam into the splits, and they're not going to know where that came from." And then had a fun conversation with AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys, and we were not even really talking about dancing. We both love real estate and like going to open houses. Even when you're not trying to buy a house, you just go to look. So we talked about that forever. So I've just been having a really nice time. Right now it's just a lot of phone and Skype and stuff like that, but pretty soon I'll be with them in person. 8 feet apart, but in person.
Got it. Which, in fact, raises the point about the pandemic and all of the precautions that people are encouraged to take. What about on the program? How is that handled there?
Yeah, well, there's no live audience. It was adamant for us to not have a live audience. However, we are doing things with screens and lighting, so there's going to be so much energy in that room, and I don't think you'll miss that live audience. The judges are going to be 8 feet apart. The dancing pairs are going to be in different pods, and they never intersect with each other. We have 3 married couple pro dancers. They will not be able to be with each other. They will not be able to be in the same home. They will not even be able to be 8 feet from each other during the entire time that they're on the show. There's a lot of other precautions, testing and masks and screens and pathways of walking and crews that are separated. There's a lot that we're doing to keep everybody as safe as possible.
Okay, all right. So let's have you tell people how they can see Dancing with the Stars and see you as the new host.
Yes, Dancing with the Stars premieres September 14th at 8 p.m. I think it's 7 Central. So you gotta watch. It's gonna be so amazing. It's a live TV, y'all. You never know what's gonna happen. And it's the first time I'm hosting, so you really don't know what's gonna happen. So we'll see you there September 4th, Monday at 8.
All right, Tyra, thank you so much for talking to us this morning, and best of luck with the show.
Thank you.
Mona?
Well, from families to business owners, this has been a really challenging year for a whole lot of people. And Amazon recently announced its plans to continue investing billions of dollars to help small businesses survive and grow across the country. Danielle Jackson explains.
In an effort to fuel more small business success in uncertain times, Amazon is on course to invest $18 billion this year to help small and medium-sized businesses.
Small and medium-sized businesses make up half of everything sold on Amazon. We invest quite a bit in guiding and educating small business owners. We also have Amazon Small Business Academy, which provides a number of free resources.
You can visit aboutamazon.com/supporting-small-business for more information.
Well, when it comes to your four-legged family members, you want to make sure that other people treat them the way that you do. And that was the mission of a local couple who's behind opening a pet salon in OTR. Yes, they are opening a pet salon in OTR. Join us as we go behind the counter at Wolf Pet Salon.
We've been in the industry for quite a while now, so we had worked at other places and kind of seen like how other people were doing things, and we wanted to change it up a little bit because most salons you'll drop your dog off and leave them there all day. We wanted it to be a little bit more personal, so how we operate here is you drop your dog off. We usually have a 2-ish hour turnaround time, get them in and out. We get started on them right away. They're hand dried straight through with all the extras, and then we call 15 minutes before they're ready. And if you're able to get here within the 15 minutes, they don't go into a kennel. And if we have to take longer than an hour from the call, there's like a doggy day boarding fee, just because we try to encourage people to pick up promptly. We find it less stressful for the dogs, and they don't have to stand around all day and hang out. Less stressful on the other dogs being groomed, and there's not a bunch of barking and like foot traffic in here. So we try to just keep it really mellow and relaxed.
I would say compared to most salons, we really just give so much attention to every single dog that we specialize in everything. I would say how Jesse's really good with her show Bichon. We like to do a lot of show trims and fluffy dogs, but then it also comes down to where a lot of dogs need to get trimmed short if they're not getting taken care of. But then we have a lot of dogs like Morty here who sheds a lot, and we use some really good products so we get out all their hair. We really have a broad spectrum of the things that we specialize in.
It's a very relaxed place, and who better to do your dogs than your friend, Great people around, people that love dogs, people that want to care for your dogs. I get here, usually have a dog as soon as I come in. I do the dog straight through, bath, nails, ears, all that good stuff, de-shedding.
Fine detailed all of our products that we've used over the years, learning which ones were best. And I have to say most of the places I've worked at in my journey, they've never had some of the stuff that we used specifically in the shampoos or specific dryers and tables and things that, well, you wouldn't think a table would be very important, but this table can go to the very, very bottom. And for dogs that are 300 pounds or have issues with their hips and whatnot, it's really hard for them to get up on a table. So a lot of the stuff that we do here just sets us apart. We do work with a lot of dogs with skin issues. We have a lot of pets that have, like handicaps with their, like I said, like hurt hips and things like that. So we worked with a lot of pets like that and have special tools to help them. So there's a lot of people who only do like smaller breed dogs. They don't always do the large dogs, and we definitely accommodate for all sizes of dogs. We try to cater to all of our friends.
Well, Wolf Pet Spa is still open and taking care of your four-legged family members. They do require, though, that you wear a mask when dropping off your dog at their shop across from Finley Market. Now, if you'd like to book a grooming appointment for your pet, or you want to learn more information, you can find them on Facebook or at Wolf, that's WUF, PetSpa.com. Clyde?
All right, Mona, thanks a lot. Paying $1 for a tasty treat could help make a big difference for agricultural education. That's right. It's a difference that could also help feed our growing population. Former state FFA officer Allison Wettig explains how you can help.
Farmers will need to feed roughly 30% more people by 2050 with the same amount of land and resources that we have now. Scoops of Thanks Day is Culver's annual Thank You Farmers Project fundraiser, which is taking place on Thursday, September 24th this year. Stop by any Culver's and donate $1 to agricultural education. With their donation, they'll receive a scoop of fresh frozen custard. Visit culvers.com/Thank You Farmers Project to learn more.
Hey, well, we'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, have you checked us out on YouTube? We have full episodes of the show up there, and you can find fun segments that you've never seen before, or you can watch your favorites again and again. So subscribe right now on youtube.com/Cincy Lifestyle. We'll be right back.
A quick look outside there right now. As you can see, that tells the story. Sunny today, but it's also going to be warm, pretty warm. Upper 80s, going to feel kind of like the lower 90s. And yeah, if you're sniffling and sneezing, blame that on the ragweed, because that's going to be high today too, Mona.
Yes, Clyde. Hey, I'm just going to tell on you, Clyde. Clyde was just challenging me. He said during our pet story, he said, I thought you were going to break into some atomic dog. You know, this is George Clinton. And I had to give him a little bit of rap about it, you know, and I can do that.
She had to do it twice, folks, to get it right. Well, that is Cincy Lifestyle for this Wednesday, September 9th. Can you believe it? 9 days into the month already. Hey, you get a chance, get in touch with us. Let us know what you think and what we should be talking about here on Cincy Lifestyle at WCPO.com. Thanks for watching. Make it a great day.
Thanks for watching our video. And if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.